Hello, I'm Dragos, and in this video we're going to take a look of how we can deploy a static WordPress website to Kinsta. Kinsta released lately a static site hosting that can be used for free. So you can use Kinsta to deploy any static website, and you will have in the free plan the options to have up to 100 websites. You have 600 build minutes a month. You have the bandwidth of 100 gigabytes, 1 gigabyte of build size. You have the integration with GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket. You have a free SSL certificates. You can add your custom domain. So I've created in here an article of all the things that we need to do to have a static WordPress website deployed to Kinsta. To do this, we are going to use a GitHub repository where we can upload our static WordPress websites. We are gonna use the Simply Static WordPress plugin, which is free, and it can help us create a static WordPress website. It has also premium version that can be utilized for more options, but for this it's enough to use the free one. So let's get started into this and let's see how we can deploy static WordPress website to Kinsta. You can do this process and basically deploy it anywhere else. You can use Cloudflare, you can use Vercel, you can use Netlify and so on. But in this video we're going to use Kinsta. You may want to deploy a static WordPress website because it's more performant and it has a better security. Basically it's an headless website that it will not make queries to the database, and because of this it's more fast and it will be better protected from security. It has also some drawbacks. For instance, you need a premium version to be able to process commands, searches, and things like that. Maybe if you want forms to be added, again you will need a pro version, but yeah. For this we are going to start. So the first thing that we're going to do is to have a repository created in GitHub. So you need to have a GitHub account. If you don't have one, you can create one. It's free, and in here is the interface, and I will just create a repository where we will store our static WordPress websites, and we will link it to the Kinsta static website generator. So in here I will create a new repository. I will give a repository name, and in here I will just put the name to my static UP site. You can put whatever name you want. In here you can put a description if you want, and in here you can make it public or private. For the public options, everyone will have access to your repository, but you have more resources. I will choose public for now, and in here I will hit create repository, and right now my repository is created. What I will need to do next is to create a file in this repository to have the master branch or the main branch generated. So I will just hit create a new file in here, and I will put readme name in here, and I will put it like this, like UP static site, just to have it a name, and I will commit the changes in this repo. So right now I have a main branch and I have the repo. The next thing that we are going to do is to link this repository to our Kinsta static websites. All of these steps are also in here. You can follow them with pictures and everything, and with commands. So let's go to the Kinsta. Let's see, here I have the dashboard. You need to register to Kinsta. This is free, and in here we have the static sites, and I will hit the create static site in here, and in here you have the select branch options. So to add the integration with GitHub, Bitbucket, or GitLab, in this case it will be GitHub, and in here I will edit the GitHub permissions. Let me put the password for this. And in here you can choose to have access to a repository or only to a specific repository. In my case, I will only select one specific repository, the one that I've created. So my static UP site, and in here I will click save. So right now the static site should have access to this. Let me refresh it. Okay. In here I have to, because I did a test in the past, but I will choose the one that I've created right now, my static UP site. And in here you have the default branch. In here you have the automatic deployment on commit. So what this means is the fact that when you push something into this repository, Kinsta will automatically go and fetch the latest content for you. I will hit this, and here you have the name. You can change it as you like. I will hit continue. I will let it like this. In here you have the build settings. So for this you don't need to add anything in here. You just need to hit create site, and this should be created. So right now you see in here that my static UP site is created. You see that you have a domain created automatically under kinsta.page, and right now it's deploying. It's just reading my repository and it's fetching all the details. In here you see the deployment time that it's taking, and it should finish in a couple of seconds because right now this doesn't have a lot of things in it. The next thing that we're going to do is to go and configure our WordPress to install the Simply plugin and configure the path there where the static website will be generated. So if we're going to check the article in here, you see that we first need to go to the website. So I have the website installed with local in here. So if we're going to check, I have local installed on my Mac, and I have my static UP website in here. I have the terminal opened, that it's pointing to this location. So basically you can go to site folder if you want, or you can open the site shell to navigate directly to the location. So what I'm going to do, I will going to start the terminal, and in here if we're going to check, you will see that the location it's in my static UP app public, and in here if we're going to check, we have the WordPress installation files, and what we are going to do is to go and clone this repository in here, so we can use this repository to dump our static WordPress website. So I will go to the GitHub, and in here I will go to check my repos. Let me fetch the last repo. So if you don't have your Mac set up to connect to the GitHub, I will let a link into the description with a video that I've made and an article that can help you set up the connectivity between your laptop or server with GitHub. So in here you have the repository URL that you need to fetch, and I will open again the terminal, and in here I will just do git clone, and I will paste the link. And right now we should have the repository created. It should be my static UP site. If you're going to check the files in here, you will see that you have the repository. I will just move into this repository. Okay, and in here you see that you have only the README that I've just created. I will do the PUD to see the path, because we are going to use this in the configurations of the plugin. So let's go and open our local installation. So this is the website. Let me open the main interface. So you see in here that I have a theme installed on this website. It's done with Cadence, with starter sites, and it has a couple of pages. You see in here, these are the pages. You see that you have a blog sections for this. You have some blog posts. So this is a fully functional website that we are trying to migrate to a static website. So yeah, we be more protected and have a better speed. I am recommending you, if you are transforming your WordPress to a static website, to optimize everything in here, from images to the scripts that you have, so the details to go optimized in the static website platform. So let's go and add our plugin. So we're going to go and hit the install plugin, add new, and in here we'll search for the plugin. The plugin is called Simply Static, and we are going to search it. And this is the plugin. It has good reviews. It has more than 4,000 installs, 40,000 installs. We're going to install it and activate it. And what this thing did, it created for us a simple static in here. And in here you will have the logs for this, and you have the settings and the deployment. And in here to transfer this to a static website, we're going to use the local directory. Basically what this will do, it will create the pages under this path that we're specifying in here. And in here we need to go and copy the path that we've just created with our repository. Let me go and copy it. So I pasted the path in here. I will hit copy this. Sorry, I'll hit save. And right now the path should have been saved. The next thing that I need to do is to go and generate the static files. Depending on the size of the website, it can take up to a couple of minutes for this to generate. Usually it's quite fast if you have a small website. So right now the static websites should have been generated. If we check the activity log, you will see in here that we have 200 pages that are copied. This plugin is also compatible with SEO plugins, so it will be also SEO optimized. So right now we have the website generated, and if we're going to take a look in the path that we've created, in here we only had the readme. Let me open the correct terminal for this. Okay, so right now if we clear this and we do ls-ltr, we're going to see that all the details have been placed in here. And in here you see that you have the index.html, that it will be used by the static platform to fetch everything. So next thing that we're gonna need to do is to go and push all of this to the repository, so the repository to be updated with all the details. So in here I have created the steps that you need to run. Basically you need to do a git add dot. So what this will do, it will add all the files to the repository. Let me go and run this. Okay, next thing that we're going to do is to commit this. Basically here you put the commit name. I put a generic name like static content in here. Let me copy this. So right now all the changes were committed, and what we need to do is to push these changes to the repository. So right now this will transfer all the files that we've created to the repository that has been created. So in here, if we are going to refresh this right now, you will have all the details that were in that folder. So what will happen right now, it's the Kinsta will see that the repository change. It will fetch the latest deployment and will create our website for us. So right now this should take about 1 minute or 1 minute and a half to fetch all the changes. So basically this is the time that you will be counting in the free tier. So in function of how many deployments are you doing a month and how much time it will take for Kinsta to fetch your details, it will add up to that 1600 minutes that you are offered for free. But yeah, this shouldn't take a lot. You see that right now this finished in under 41 seconds. So right now if we're going to go and check the website, you will see that all the changes were brought into the new domain. So right now we're on Kinsta hosting with their domain, and you see in here that the website it's looking the same as the one that we've installed. And in here, if we go and check the features, for instance, you have the page in here. If we're going to check the pricings, the page will be here. It will look nicely. In here you have the blog section with the articles. And in here you see that everything is looking nice. You have all the details. Of course, the comments, I don't think it will work with this free version because this is fetched from a static website, and you need to buy the pro version. I think I didn't use this with comments. Basically, these options is most easy to be used if you have a small website. So yeah, this is the page. So right now, for instance, let's say we want to modify something in here, like let's add a blog post in here. So what we're gonna need to do is to go into our local installation. We need to go to dashboard. We can add posts in here if you want. We can create pages. So we can go and add a new post in here. I will put my test post, a title like this. In here I will add some content. Maybe I want a button to be added. Maybe I want a future image to be added. Let's search for a future image. This is just for testing purposes, and what I will going to do is to select this image that we're gonna use as a future image. And right now I will just hit publish. And if you're going to go and see in here, you have the my test post. But what will happen is the fact that this will not be automatically sent to the static website. So right now, for instance, if we go to blog, you see that we have my test post in here. If we're going to check the one for my static website in here, if we go to blog, you will not see the post, because what we'll need to do next is to go and generate again the static site, so all the changes to be sent again there. This can be also automated, but for this tutorial I'm just trying to show you how this thing it's working. And right now we're going to generate again all the files, and afterwards what we'll need to go and do is to again push them to our repository, so the new article to be also sent to our static website. We see that right now you have more pages that were created. So what we're gonna do is to do again the repository add. Again, you can automate this quite easily with some script if you want. There are also some platforms. So let me add everything again. Let me commit everything again, and then I will push it again. So you see in here that right now the post was submitted. I will push it again, and right now the repository is updated with the changes, and Kinsta will fetch our latest repository because it's seen that was modified, and should publish our post in the website. Let's wait for this to finish, and then we are going to check and see that our post is added there and it can be accessed by users. Okay, so right now the website should be updated, and let's go and see. Let me open again this, and if we go to blog, we should have the post in here. So I refresh this, so you see that right now my static UP site that is on Kinsta, it has the post, it has the button in here with the design, the similar post, so everything is looking nicely. What you can do now, if your website is here, is to go and add a domain. So Kinsta offers the possibility in a free plan to use your own domain, To do this, you just need to go and add your domain and follow their steps. Basically, you need to update the DNS records to point the domain to the Kinsta website. So in here, if I have, for instance, bidos.com, add it, you'll see that you need to verify the domain and point the domain at the end. This should be straightforward. So yeah, this is how you can generate a static WordPress website and host it free on the Kinsta static site platform. I hope you enjoyed the video. In case you liked what we have seen, please don't forget to like and subscribe.